Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Growfold, and today I will be showing you my PlantCon 2025 Dallas haul. Super excited to show you what I got from Dallas PlantCon. Again, thank you so much to the PlantCon International Organization for choosing me as being one of the creator collective plant influencers to create this type of content. Hopefully you guys will like my little PlantCon haul, but just to let you guys know, PlantCon was just amazing and I finally got to be able to make a PlantCon haul. You already know Plant Foldies, and for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers Plant Foldies. Welcome, my name is Richie and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, but today is a special day because I'm actually going to be showing you number one, my face, and then number two, all of the plants that I received from PlantCon 2025. So a couple of things I did want to talk about in terms of like what you need to be prepared for when it comes to a PlantCon is number one, you need to really make sure that you have a set budget because it is super easy to get out of hand and just buy every single plant. Number two, if you are going into PlantCon and you want to do some massive shopping, definitely buy yourself a wagon, bring yourself a wagon. And then number three, just make sure that you have space to bring these plants back. Luckily for me, since I am a local person that lives out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it wasn't that big of a problem for me to haul these plants. I did go to PlantCon in Orlando and I had to figure ways to ship the plants back or at least carrying them on a plane. Now, if you do live in the United States and you are just flying domestically, you can carry these plants on as a carry-on. Just double check what that looks like. But anyways, I did want to just talk about some of the plants that I received today. There were a lot of plants at PlantCon, you know, ranging from the trending anthuriums, many philodendrons, definitely Hoyas, monsteras, and all of the things. But for me, I like to go against the grain a little bit. For those that have been following my YouTube channel, can you guess what plants I got from PlantCon? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. I would really love for you guys to help me push this content out because now I am actually doing face on YouTube. Before I used to do faceless YouTube, so now you guys will see that. But anyways, let me go ahead and just talk a little bit about some of the plants that I received. Knowing that I was going to be actually making content for PlantCon, I decided that I was actually going to just spend my whole budget before I got into PlantCon. Now, some people will ask, how do you spend all of your budget before you step into the doors of PlantCon? It's quite easy, actually. Now, if you haven't seen some of my content, I like to buy plants from Art Garden Flowers, an Indonesian local nursery, international nursery actually, that ships plants overseas to the United States. And the good thing about it is they go through a broker that imports the plants, so you don't necessarily have to have an import license because they do all the importing and all of the phytosanitaries. They literally just ship the plants to your doorstep. But they were offering free shipping, and you know, if you're gonna if you're like me who wants to actually be budget friendly and wants to actually save money collecting these rare and uncommon plants, I decided that I would do a pickup at PlantCon Dallas. So I was able to do that at Art Garden Flowers. There were a couple of other I guess vendors that I ended up getting some plants from, but let's go ahead and talk about some of the plants. I did want to just talk about the unboxing portion. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how I unboxed some of the plants. Also, I will be doing another clip where I ended up actually doing a live selling event for Art Garden Flowers where I was able to sell plants from their Indonesian nursery all the way to plant lovers in the United States that actually went to PlantCon. So for my plant foldies, again, I am gonna be showing you some of the clips of me actually picking up the plants at PlantCon and then shipping it to your doorstep. But anyways, let's just talk about some of the other plants that we are going to look at. So plant foldies, you can see that I am unboxing a plant foldie order that she actually made through Art Garden Flowers. Again, I did an Instagram live selling with my friend Harry and the Art Garden Flowers team. And these are the plants that I ended up picking up at PlantCon 2025 in Dallas, Texas. I went ahead and grabbed all of these plants from the Art Garden Flowers booth. Thank you to Steffi. She was actually working the booth and actually having these plants available. So what I wanted to do for the plant foldies is to save them money on shipping directly to their doorstep. I decided that I would go ahead and pick up these plants that they bought from the live selling, since it was free shipping to Dallas. And then I ended up just packing up these plants and shipping them to their respective homes. So shout out to my loyal plant foldies, Daisy. This one is her order. And then later on, you will see me unbox Tiania's order as well. But as you can see right here, we've got two different types of Aglaonema, and then she also ended up getting some beautiful anthuriums. And if you notice, Art Garden Flowers has another way of packing their plants. Notice that they have this clear plastic that has holes, so it does retain some of the humidity levels for the plants. It definitely protects it. And then after speaking to Harry, my friend that works at Art Garden Flowers, again, follow his personal Instagram page at Indo Miami Plants. Let him know you are a plant foldie and he can take care of you. But he just mentioned that they are innovating ways to really package these plants and ship them to the United States or internationally, wherever you may live, in a more safe way to protect the plants. And I think this is brilliant. I saw some other international plant vendors, but they did not have them in these like humidity domes. So as you can see right here, I've got two Aglaonemas. I just got another anthurium, and then I just picked up another beautiful Syndapsis. Here is another anthurium. And again, it just made me bring a lot of joy to my loyal plant foldies, those that have continued to support my YouTube channel, and for those that have actually just discovered my YouTube channel because of the PlantCon content. Welcome to my channel again. I hope that you will press the subscribe button for this YouTube channel with all the notification bell on. This is a steadily growing plant community, and I just really love fostering a very positive environment where it's only good vibes only. So as you can see right here, I am just unboxing these plants, and you can even tell that these plants traveled almost 10,000 miles from overseas to Dallas, Texas, and these plants are in perfect condition. Now, I got to speak to my plant foldie, and she even mentioned that these plants were delivered even better than some of the plant mail that she's gotten. So that's super exciting, and this is the reason why no, Art Garden Flowers did not sponsor me for this plant haul, but I am just really heavily invested in promoting these plants. So as you can see right here, plant foldies, I am just taking a box and I am packing up these plants here. Don't judge my packing, but I got a box that was pretty much easy to pack. And I love the fact again that Art Garden Flowers has a way of just packing them in these humidity cubes or domes. It makes it easy to transfer these plants. I don't have to worry about having to protect them because they're super protected. I am curious to see how my plant foldies plants do as they acclimate. But as you can see right here, I am just taking my time to pack up these plants. Will I be doing this for plant foldies in the future? I really don't know if I would do this long term in the future because it does take quite a bit of space. And I also wanted to gift my plant foldies a bunch of origami paper cranes. So for those that are curious and don't know the reason why I call my YouTube channel Grow Folds, it's because this channel was originally an origami ASMR channel where I was folding origami paper cranes on a daily basis. My goal is to fold 1 million origami paper cranes in my lifetime. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I went ahead and gifted some origami paper cranes, and now I am about to seal up this package. Let me know what you guys think, and do you think this is super exciting? I'm really happy that you guys are continuing to watch my plant haul. I am getting a little bit more creative in my content creation because now you can see my face, and I just really wanted to say for the plant foldies that took a chance to buy overseas plants and have me pick them up at PlantCon 2025 in Dallas, Texas, I truly hope you are satisfied and continue to support Art Garden Flowers. After unpacking and packing up these plants to ship to my plant foldy subscriber, I am just in awe of how people actually do this for a living. I don't know if I could do it long term because it is very meticulous. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I've got another pickup of plants from Art Garden Flowers from Dallas PlantCon. This one is for my viewer and my friend Tiania out in New Jersey. This one is a variegated Florida Beauty, Philodendron Florida Beauty. She only got for $10, but look at how high the variegation is and look at how it shipped. I mean, it is in perfect condition. And again, these plants were shipped from Indonesia all the way to Dallas, Texas. And this is the reason why, again, I highly encourage going to a plant con and even pre-ordering and buying plants from Art Garden Flowers, because you can pick up these rare and uncommon plants, these variegated plants, for a very good price. Now, this one she got on special as well. I think it was only $10 for that Syngonium aurea. So total, it didn't really cost her as much to get these plants. And again, this is the expertise that Art Garden Flowers team in Indonesia has. So you can see right here, plant foldies. I'm gonna go ahead and just pack up these plants. I am gonna go give her some more origami paper cranes. For those that haven't tuned in, I do vertical live YouTube streams. Sometimes it gets a little iffy, if you know what I mean, in terms of some of the random people that show up and make comments, but I actually fold origami paper cranes live, and I am gifting Tiania some of the origami paper cranes that I did from a previous live. So you can refer back to one of those videos. She's going to end up getting it, and I'm just going to go snug these two plants here so it doesn't move around. But don't judge me too much on my packing skills, and let's just continue to watch this video, and I will continue on with this unboxing and also plant haul, where I will show you what plants I personally got at PlantCon as well. And I'm pretty proud of how I did the packing for both of my plant foldies orders. And I'm just really glad that they confirmed that they got the packages and that the plants arrived the same way I received them and also packed them. So kudos again to Art Garden Flowers for having some amazing plants. And you have to think about the plants that you get from overseas. If they were not healthy, they would definitely not be able to withstand all of the stress of just transit. And that's the reason why I will continue to support Art Garden Flowers. Please make sure, if you haven't already, follow them on Instagram at Art Garden Flowers, and also let Riki know and also Harry know that you are a plant foldie. So we're going to move on next. So as you can tell, I was just really happy that I was able to get Tiania and Daisy on Instagram, their plants. I'm really hoping that these plants will actually thrive for you. So here's the thing about getting plants from overseas. And this is the reason why I feel like my content is a little bit different than the average person's plant haul. And that's because I get plants from overseas. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you are following artgarden.flowers on Instagram, Indo Miami Plants on Instagram. My friend Harry is the liaison that has been able to get me a bunch of these plants. And not only are they able to get you definitely the Aglaonema that we're going to be seeing in my plant haul, but they can source out many beautiful variegated anthuriums, Hoyas, Monsteras, philodendrons, anything that you can think of, they can actually source out and ship directly to your doorstep. And I did also want to talk about the Aglaonema book that I collaborated with Art Garden Flowers. Harry is actually the person that was the author. Shout out to the Art Garden Flowers team for doing that. So I'm going to just show you a little clip of the actual book. It was supposed to be available at PlantCon Dallas, but unfortunately we didn't get all of the logistics ready for that book. But have no fear, it will be available for you, and hopefully this will actually get more people interested in the beauty of Aglaonema. So let's take a look at that. And foldies, can you believe that I was part of a collaboration to make a hardcover book called Indonesia's Living Jewel, Aglaonema 2025, presented by Art Garden Flowers? This has been a project that was inspired through my relationship with Art Garden Flowers and really encouraging the Indonesian market to really capitalize on the beauty of Aglaonema. For those that don't know, Indonesia is one of the leading countries to have so many different hybrids, and as you can see right here, this is a beautiful photo book, but it also discusses the different nurseries in Indonesia, plant care tips for Aglaonema, as well as the history of Art Garden Flowers, also the Aglomart 88 nursery that actually has this. These are Mr. Benz's Aglaonema, and you will also see a little blurb about me and my grandmother and my journey when it comes to just plant care. This is a very special book, and I am super proud to present it for our Western world, the United States, and hopefully this book will be available for purchase. What's exciting is any Aglaonema that you see in this book, there is a QR code that will give you the plant pricing for these Aglaonemas. So if you want these Aglaonemas shipped directly to you, you can go ahead and pause this video and scan that QR code. It will take you to the website. So we're going to go ahead and move on to this plant haul again. So the first Aglaonema I am about to show is actually called Aglaonema Wagyu. This one right here is a beautiful Aglaonema right here. Can you see that? It has beautiful marbling like A5 Wagyu. Now this one did not come from Art Garden Flowers. This one actually came from Sarut, from Live with Plants. Thank you to May of DM Secret Garden. She was actually able to bring this. This was actually a plant that I ended up getting pre-ordered, bought for PlantCon New York. But unfortunately, if you didn't know, my flight was actually canceled on the way to the airport to fly out to PlantCon New York City. Otherwise, I would have made pretty much every single PlantCon this year. There are reasons for it, but look at how beautiful this Aglaonema Wagyu is. Now this right here is still in sphagnum moss. So you can see right here, it is still in sphagnum moss. And you know, this actually has been in this substrate for at least a month now. And so it's still doing fairly well. And for me, I don't really want to move it into a soil substrate right yet. You can see that the roots, I don't know if the lighting is really good, the roots are still establishing. They look super healthy. So I will eventually put this Aglaonema Wagyu. But if you notice how beautiful the leaves are, look at that. This is a new Aglaonema hybrid. This hybrid actually came from Aglomart in Indonesia. It was actually a hybrid that was created by Mr. Benz. And if you actually get the Aglaonema book, you will know the history of this. But this one is a brand new Aglaonema hybrid. This is a 2025 Aglaonema hybrid. And guess what? I ended up getting it at PlantCon. And this is the reason why, again, for those that are watching this plant haul, you need to make a trip to PlantCon. I know that they have, I think, 6 of them planned out for next year. But as you can see right here, this one is from Live with Plants. Thank you so much, Sarut, for getting me an amazing price for it. So for now, this Aglaonema Wagyu is going to be staying in this like self-watering planter container because look, it just kind of sits there like this. And what do you think? Let me know in the comment section on the first Aglaonema I'm going to show you right here. Now, plant foldies. Do you see this beautiful Aglaonema right here? It is so pretty. This one is called Aglaonema White Romance. And look at how massive this is. Now, here's the catch. This one is actually not an Aglaonema that I got from overseas. This one is actually an Aglaonema I got from one of my favorite plant vendors at PlantCon always, and that is Prop and Grow. Sabria and Eddie, thank y'all so much for always being kind to me. But as you can see right here, look at this Aglaonema White Romance. Isn't that stunning? Y'all, you have to let me know what you think. And what I love about this Aglaonema is, number one, this one doesn't need acclimation. I actually potted this up in today. Actually, I potted this up on October 25th, 2025. You can see that I'm using a Target Room Essentials planter. It's in an 8-inch planter, and I used a mixture of Classy Rabbit soil, which is actually a local plant vendor, a local small business out in McKinney, Texas. And I mixed the Classy Rabbit soil with Fox Farm Ocean soil, which I really love. And then if you can see right here, you can see that it is potted up and it's ready to go. I love this Aglaonema because if you look at it, it's got a beautiful tone, and you can see that I love white stem Aglaonema. But if you look at the Aglaonema as well, you can see that it's got some nice green undertones on this. Now, you know, Prop and Grow, I will tell you, is a pretty much traveling nursery because they always are doing plant shows, and it's amazing. Definitely go to their website, propandgrow.com. Let them know you're a plant foldie, because you know what? They've actually started carrying a lot of Aglaonemas because I was very, I would say, passionate, maybe insistent about more vendors getting Aglaonema. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, what do you think? Isn't this amazing? Amazing. Oh, I love it. Let me know what you think. And again, this is called Aglaonema White Romance. White Romance is the name of it, and it's definitely making me fall in love with Aglaonemas. Let me know what you think of Aglaonema White Romance. I do apologize about the lighting. You know, I meant to actually film this plant haul when the sun was out, but it's on overcast today. But you know what? I am just gonna go with it. At least I am able to show you this. What do you think about Aglaonema White Romance from Prop and Grow? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, plant foldies. So before I get to the next plant, I did want to talk about some tea, some great tea that I got. This is a green tea. Y'all look at this right here. This is actually from Costco. It's the Kirkland's organic green tea. Really good for your skin, because I know some of y'all were asking me what my skin regimen is. So I'm gonna just give you a little bit of that. But yeah, let me go ahead and drink some of my green tea and talk about some of my thoughts about PlantCon as I do this plant haul. So here's a couple of things. As I was making content and I was looking at some of the plants, I can definitely tell what plants were very much trending, and that had to have been the Anthurium hybrids. And the Anthurium hybrids, not just the green velvety textured ones, it's actually the more variegated ones. So you can see that a lot of the variegated anthuriums are really only coming from these international plant vendors. So again, if you haven't ever made it to PlantCon, I highly encourage you to invest in going to a PlantCon. It's a really good experience. And it's always good vibes. At least for me, it's good vibes only. But just speaking to the plant vendors, a lot of people really are into anthuriums. A lot of people are actually looking at different types of Hoyas. And I was really impressed in the fact that a lot of people were actually carrying Thai hybrid caladium. So it'd be really interesting to see what kind of plants pop up at a PlantCon. We'll see what that all looks like. To me, it's all about the diversity of plants that you can find. But my heart is always going to be for the local plant vendors, especially in Dallas, Texas. I bought a couple of plants from a few local vendors in the past, but you already know plant foldies. Unless the local DFW plant vendors are actually going to carry Aglaonemas, I'm going to have to go with Art Garden Flowers or any of the plant vendors there. I did speak to a lot of the plant vendors, and I just remember introducing myself. And so thank you guys again for being super kind, for just allowing me to film freely. Again, you know, it could be a little bit awkward to have somebody silently like filming plants, but we got to talking, a lot of the vendors, and whenever I would pick up an Aglaonema, they would always tell me, you know, that's one of my favorite plants, but a lot of people just don't really buy it. I end up getting stuck with all of the Aglaonema. And here's my question for those that are watching this video, especially those that went to PlantCon. Why are y'all not into Aglaonemas? I mean, I just showed you two beautiful Aglaonemas, and I mean, the plant care is super easy, right? You just water when the soil is completely dry. Ideally, you want to give them bright indirect light, and basically that is it. Aglaonemas are super easy. They are low light tolerant as well. So like, why complicate things? But I found it quite interesting that a lot of plant vendors, they did carry some. I will say for the plant foldy community, and you already know those that have actually watched my YouTube channel, and you know I talk about Aglaonemas all the time. Our influence is happening because more and more vendors are going to be carrying Aglaonemas, or at least if you watch some of my other content, my walkthroughs of PlantCon throughout this coming week, you will see that more and more vendors are carrying Aglaonema. So the pull is there, but if you really want amazing Aglaonemas, you definitely need to get them from overseas. Unfortunately, a lot of the United States still hasn't seen a lot of these plants. So that's really it. Other green tea I got, let's see. There's just a lot of people that are actually talking about having more curated plant collections. And so for me, you know, after talking to a lot of people at PlantCon, I totally agree. I think when you buy too many plants, and I mean, I'm a self-proclaimed plant addict. If you saw my plant room, which I actually got together, and there will be a actual YouTube houseplant tour maybe by the end of the year. You can thank my mother-in-law, who is staying with me and my husband Luke for a little bit. She was the one who helped me you know, organize and get a lot of plants. I actually did a purge. There were some plants that unfortunately made it to plant heaven, but you know, otherwise, you know, that's the thing. But you know, plant curation, just curating a collection for me was super exciting. And now we're going to go into this next portion where I'm actually unboxing my Aglaonema from Art Garden Flowers in Indonesia. These were the actual plants that I pre-ordered and picked up at PlantCon 2025 in Dallas, Texas. And what is crazy is I actually didn't do this unboxing until October 25th, which was literally 6 days after I picked them up from PlantCon. So we're gonna actually see how well these plants have maintained being in their case. I just didn't have enough time. And if you follow my YouTube channel, you already know Plant Foldies that I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. I was unable to produce any videos the day after PlantCon and throughout the week. Work was super crazy busy, and I just had to recuperate from all of the excitement of PlantCon. So we're going to see what these Aglaonema look like, whether they are healthy, whether they maintain their leaf, and we'll just see. But as you can see right here, I am struggling to get these plants out of these domes. I love the fact that Art Garden Flowers has innovated and created a new case that makes it super easy to ship plants. So this one is an actual Aglaonema that I really like. This is called an Aglaonema rotundum. This one is a little bit more of a common Aglaonema in Indonesia. Unfortunately, this beautiful dark foliage, almost like purple tone Aglaonema, is not common at all in the United States. And if you were to buy an Aglaonema rotundum, say on Etsy or eBay, this plant would cost you an arm and a leg. So thankfully, I have connections and I'm able to buy these plants and get them directly shipped to my doorstep through Art Garden Flowers. I swear I sound like I am sponsored by them, but I'm really not. They just have taken care of me so much that if those that are wanting to get more rare and uncommon Aglaonemas, you can either go to PlantCon, for instance, and pick these plants up, free shipping, or you can just get them shipped directly to your doorstep. But as you can see right here, overseas plants are a little bit challenging to ship because, again, Art Garden Flowers has to be very meticulous in cleaning the roots. You cannot have soil substrates or anything of that nature. They have to ship these plants bare root in sphagnum moss. But as you can see right here, none of the leaves are melting. None of the leaves are yellowing. This is a prime example of a perfectly packed Aglaonema that was shipped by Art Garden Flowers to their air cargo service and was imported by their broker. But if you notice there, the roots are intact, and this is a perfect example of an Aglaonema that I can pot up directly into a soil substrate. So we're just gonna go ahead and keep unboxing these Aglaonema. Again, these Aglaonema traveled about 10,000 miles from Indonesia to Dallas, Texas to go to PlantCon Dallas 2025. So let me know what you think. I would really love to know your commentary, Plant Foldies, or anybody watching, if you are open to getting plants from overseas, because as you can see right here, I like to mix up my plant haul. I like to show a little bit of a different approach when it comes to just a plant haul video for PlantCon. I know that it's more of a longer format content. I may do an abbreviated version for Instagram. I'm really trying to actually do short format content, but this one right here is one of my favorite Aglaonemas. This one is the one that I definitely wanted. It is one of the more rare and uncommon Aglaonemas, and the reason being is this one is one of the hybrids that really capitalizes on the green and neon forms as well as the white stem. So when you think about like trending plants such as anthuriums, you think about the nuances of the leaves, the sinus of the leaves, just the veining. It's the same thing with Aglaonemas, except Aglaonemas are a little bit more overt or kind of in your face when it comes to the colors and the veining and the stem colors, all of this. But this one right here is a beautiful one right here. This one is the Aglaonema White Moon. And, you know, if you were to buy this plant, look it up and see how much it would cost. It would actually cost quite a bit of money because this one is a rare Aglaonema, but I was able to get a very, very good price through Art Garden Flowers. And you can see right here, look at the actual root and look at the foliage. We're going to look at this a little bit more in detail, but this is literally me unpacking these plants after these plants have been sitting in their package for 6 days unpacked. I was actually super surprised so far with the first two Aglaonema. There is not a speckle of melting or yellowing leaves, and that is super exciting. So the next one we're going to go ahead and do is another unboxing right here. Things to also think about, and that's the reason why I love doing these unboxing videos, is I like to educate anybody that might not have ever gotten plants from overseas. I wouldn't even necessarily say importing plants, because I didn't import these plants. These plants were actually imported through a US broker, and these were just shipped directly to PlantCon Dallas, which again makes it a lot easier to acquire these plants. But let's go see what these look like. So these larger varieties right here are traditionally packed by Art Garden Flowers in cardboard, which I still think is super safe to keep the plants intact. They do have the new plastic containers that you saw for some of the other plants that I picked up for my my viewers. But let's see right here, I am struggling a little bit. I just have to be really careful in how I unpack. And voila, plant foldies. This is another Aglaonema. Now this one has slight yellowing on some of the leaves, but needless to say, it is still in great condition. So there are just a couple of leaves that I'm going to remove. This one is called Aglaonema Miss World, and I'll get into the details of why I bought this particular Aglaonema in the later part of the video after I unpack these videos. So be sure to stay till the very end, because I will talk about each individual Aglaonema with my face on the video, because I know that some of you guys who have been following my YouTube channel are still new to seeing my face, because for the longest time I did faceless YouTube, but I did notice that there is a higher engagement rate now that I have shown my face. Y'all already know the reason why I actually kept my face out of YouTube or social media, and that's really because I wanted to separate my social media presence as compared to my day-to-day, everyday life. But you know what? I have realized that a lot of you guys really wanted to get to know the individual behind this channel. And so thank you to those that have continued to show kindness and actually really want to get to know me on a personal level. One thing I did want to also mention in terms of the reasons why I went ahead and did a face on YouTube, or actually started showing my face on social media, is because I have been granted more opportunities to be at these functions where I am plant influencing or creating content. This is something that I'm really passionate about, and I feel like this has really grown our brand in our community. I don't know, plant foldies, let me know in the comment section. I know that I am kind of talking a little bit outside of what's going on with this unboxing, but as you can see right here, this Aglaonema Miss World, which I got from Aglomart 88, that's where the Aglaonema was sourced from by Art Garden Flowers. You can see that this one right here has some really strong roots. These roots are more of the thick, robust roots, which are a little bit more delicate as compared to the spaghetti type roots some Aglaonema have. I will say firsthand though, this is still a very healthy looking Aglaonema. There have been some times where I have gotten plants from overseas where there are more yellowing on the leaves. And so for me, highly impressed with how these Aglaonema have shipped from Art Garden Flowers. So if anybody from the Art Garden Flowers team, Harry and all of the team in Indonesia, terima kasih, thank you so much for really taking the time to take care of my beautiful plants and giving me the opportunity to create awareness, to make Aglaonema popular, to really try and influence anybody that is watching my YouTube video today to buy more Aglaonema from Art Garden Flowers. But we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next Aglaonema as I unbox this one right here. Feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think about my unboxing and my plant haul so far. At the very end, I'm going to talk about each plant individually, the care tips I do after I've unboxed. But you can see this one right here is more of the delicate Aglaonema. This one is an Aglaonema White Paradise. And the reason why I wanted to get an Aglaonema White Paradise is you can see how pastel and neon the leaves are. It is a very delicate looking Aglaonema. There's maybe one leaf that I may end up pulling off. But what's important about this plant is while it looks a little bit stressed, the roots, as long as the roots are not brown and mushy, as long as it's still healthy, this plant is just going to take a little bit of time to recuperate and actually acclimate. And again, these plants may not always ship perfectly, but I would say that so far these plants have shipped almost perfect. If I'm being really nitpicky, there might have been a couple of yellow leaves I've had to pull, but otherwise very good packing. And the thing about the sphagnum moss is they actually have balanced it to where the sphagnum moss isn't completely soaking wet. Because if you actually soak the sphagnum moss too much, it actually may potentially rot the roots, and that's just not good. Because really at the end of the day, as long as you have a strong root system, the plant is always going to bounce back. It may just take a little bit longer, but let's take a look at this one right here. So this aglaonema shipped very well, and I would even say with these more pale neon colored aglaonema, especially the white stem varieties, they tend to take the most stress whenever they are shipped overseas, at least in my experience. But otherwise, the roots are still really good, and I am just going to go ahead and make the decision to pot this up in a soil substrate, and hopefully this will recover. I am going to give it the best ample light it can possibly take, so that's a bright indirect light, and hopefully the new plant nutrients I put in will help establish this aglaonema. But I'm still very, very much impressed with this aglaonema white paradise. It definitely looks like white paradise indeed. So this is the aglaonema I really wanted to get a hold of. I remember seeing this on Instagram stories where they were selling this at AgleoMart88 on Instagram, where I messaged my friend Harry of Art Garden Flowers to be able to source this and purchase this. This is called Aglaonema Green COVID, and you can see that this is a jumbo aglaonema. Really, really love the look of this one right here. And you can see that the leaves are a little bit more upright because it has been packed very carefully and snug. So eventually the leaves will go down again and it won't be so upright. But otherwise, I'm still really happy with this. I really wanted to get this particular aglaonema because I like the fact that it's not the typical aglaonema where some people say they all look alike. You know, whenever you see aglaonemas in the United States, it's either like a pink color, a red color, and like that aglaonema silver bay. This one really touches base on some of the veining, the intricacies of the leaf color and just even the stems. So while a lot of people are really much into anthuriums, and I keep referring to anthuriums, and the only reason why I say this is because after speaking to a lot of people at PlantCon Dallas, the reason why anthuriums are the trending plant is, again, number one, people can hybridize them and create their own hybrids, which is super exciting. And then number two, it is literally a work of art when you start to look at the minute details of the leaves. The same can be said about Aglaonema, but I would say Aglaonema is not a very minimalistic looking piece of art. What I mean by that is maybe with anthuriums, there is a little bit more minimalistic, modern contemporary vibe about it. Aglaonema look like very colorful paintings, and that may not necessarily be the case for everybody, but again, it's really in your own preference. But as far as this Aglaonema green COVID, this one has some very, very healthy roots, and again, it is because Art Garden Flower are experts at packing these plants and getting them shipped overseas. So you can see right here, very healthy looking Aglaonema. Love the roots. And you can see that the roots are slightly dehydrated, but I don't feel like I need to go ahead and put this in water. I have realized and learned through experience that if I soak these Aglaonema roots in water for too long, it can actually potentially like induce root rot. So I don't really want to do that. I am just going to go ahead and pot up all of these Aglaonema I picked up in a soil mixture using Classy Rabbit soil mixed with Fox Farm ocean soil. Love that as well. And I will be using the mycorrhizae powder to really increase the potential of these roots establishing and getting stronger, and just making sure that these plants develop and grow for me. And plant foldies, you can see that these are newly unpacked Aglaonema. Notice the roots and the foliage. These are ready to be put into soil, which I will be doing in just a second, but I did want you to just take a look at the gorgeous Aglaonema that I recently unpacked. I took all of the sphagnum moss out and they are ready to go into soil. And then at the latter part of this video, I will talk about each Aglaonema in detail. Feel free to leave in the comments what you think so far, and whether you would actually buy plants from overseas from artgardenflowers.us. representing the process of getting plants from PlantCon Dallas and just getting these overseas plants. I really hope that this encourages more people to not only visit PlantCon, but actually be open to getting these plants. And you can see right here, these are the products I'm using to make sure that my plants from overseas have the best shot at actually acclimating. Super Thrive, that B vitamin, is what I'm going to use to water the plants initially. And then the Mycos or the mycorrhizae, you can buy this on Amazon. It is a really, really good powder to add, because the mycorrhizae actually makes the soil more nutrient dense, as well as the roots are able to actually take those nutrients from the mycorrhizae. So I found that this actually increases the potential of the plants actually acclimating substantially. So now that I am done actually potting up these plants, you can see that they look like they didn't even travel from Indonesia to Dallas, Texas. That one is that beautiful Aglaonema white moon. This is another one that is extremely uncommon, definitely rare in the United States. And you can see right here, this is an Aglaonema Miss World. Look at just the coloration on the leaves, even just a smite, the random peaches and pinks. And if you look at the planters, I am showcasing my aesthetic. I really like minimalistic planters. I love these Room Essentials planters that I bought from Target. Target has some really nice home decor. And what I mean by home decor, they have some great planters to utilize. You can see right here, this one is that gorgeous Aglaonema Green COVID. Couple of things to also mention after potting up these Aglaonema, I actually use a neem oil spray called We the Wild Neem Oil Spray to spray on the leaves. Not that they have plant pests, but it's to, number one, give them a little bit more of a leaf shine. I mean, you can see this gorgeous Aglaonema rotundum, for instance, but it also becomes a pest preventative. So in case you are worried about different types of plant pests hitting Aglaonema, the only plant pests that really bug Aglaonema that I've seen would be really mealy bugs, and that's really it. They're not so prone to spider mites. But as far as the Aglaonemas, again, like look at this beautiful Aglaonema white paradise, and I am just really satisfied with the plants that I've received from Art Garden Flowers. Shout out to Mr. Benz and the Agleomart 88 Nursery out in Indonesia. That is a legendary Aglaonema nursery, and I hope more people will buy Aglaonema. This one right here is from Prop and Grow Plant Shop. I went ahead and up potted this one right here. This is the Aglaonema White Romance. This one was actually in a 3-inch planter. I went ahead and doubled the size and put it in a 6-inch planter. But there you have it, plant foldies. And then now I'm going to talk about each Aglaonema so I can discuss my plant haul and give you some more thoughts about just PlantCon Dallas 2025 and just what I intend to do with these plants and the plant care I would suggest for getting plants from an international plant show. All right, plant foldies, do you see this beautiful Aglaonema? This one is a dark, almost black Aglaonema. This Aglaonema is actually called the Aglaonema rotundum. So if you look at this right here, this actually is a pretty common Aglaonema, but look at the leaves right over here, right? Look at how it's got a rounder leaf shape, and then the tip is there. This one tends to be, grows a lot of little babies. And I love the fact that I was able to get a pretty cost-effective plant price for this one from my friend Harry of Indo Miami Plants, Art Garden Flowers. This one also came from Mr. Benz's nursery, but if you can see right here, look at how beautiful it is. It's a pretty good size Aglaonema. What's interesting about this Aglaonema rotundum right over here is if you look at the veining, notice how it's got beautiful veining. It almost looks like what's that one Calathea pinstripes or something of that nature. But what's interesting about this Aglaonema is this Aglaonema is one of the Aglaonemas that they utilize to hybridize plants to get a lot of the veining or the little stripes. This is really the most common thing. So for instance, say if you were to take pollen and hybridize this, cross it with say an Aglaonema Silver Bay, you might get some coloration and more of the veining. So like, I'm not a professional when it comes to Aglaonema hybridizing, although I will say I am in the works of learning how to hybridize Aglaonema for those that are all about that like anthurium life. I know you guys are like, why are we even like watching Richie Growfold's plant haul? You clicked on the video and you know I'm going to talk about Aglaonema, so hopefully you guys are still engaged. But the hybridization of Aglaonema is a little bit more challenging. This one right here has multiple plants, and the thing about it is when I potted these Aglaonema up, I potted them up to where they didn't really get a lot of water. So you don't want to overwater when you pot them up. These are actually potted up in 6-inch planters. They probably needed to be potted up in a smaller pot. But to me, I'm going to just monitor it. And I used a lot of mycorrhizae powder. I use the Super Thrive. So let me show you this right here. This is really my go-to. Some people are like that it doesn't really do anything, but Super Thrive for me is definitely what you need to use to water your plants, especially when you're getting plants from overseas. So this is the Aglaonema rotundum. Let me know what you think of this Aglaonema. I think it's amazing. And just to let you guys know, I want to be that one plant collector in the United States, that my goal is to be the most extensive Aglaonema collection in the United States. And I really think that Art Garden Flowers is going to make it happen. So shout out again to Art Garden Flowers, but this is the Aglaonema rotundum. So the one thing I will say about Aglaonema is obviously they come in so many different varieties, but one variety that I really found quite interesting, and I'm really happy that, you know, PlantCon International has international vendors. You know, I have really highlighted Art Garden Flowers because I do work alongside with them, and that's really by choice. They don't necessarily sponsor me for videos. It's just I'm really passionate about the plants that they've been able to make possible for me to get. And one of the plants or the types of Aglaonema I am really happy about is the really pale, almost like pastel yellow, neon green Aglaonema that you don't really see. And so the first one I'm going to show you is this one right here. This is the Aglaonema. Let's see, what is it? Aglaonema White Paradise. Look at how massive this is right here. And it just looks very ghostly. Now, some people have their opinions again about Aglaonema, but you know, my thing about it is after going to PlantCon, it's really somebody's preference or plant aesthetic. But this is the Aglaonema White Romance, and I mean White Paradise, sorry. White Paradise, and you can see, look at these stems. The stems are freaking amazing, right? And so this one right here had some really good roots if you saw me pull that off. But you can see right here, look at how wonderful this is. And I am just loving it. So, you know, when it comes to the Aglaonema White Paradise, this is definitely a rare one. And you can see that it's very large Aglaonema. And I cannot wait to show y'all what these plants are gonna look like in my plant collection. One thing I will say about my Aglaonema is that I sprayed them down with neem oil spray, so you can see that they have a little bit of a shine. Let me know in the comment section what you think about Aglaonema White Paradise. This is amazing, and hopefully it acclimates to my space very soon. So the next Aglaonema I'm showing you is called Aglaonema Miss World. So here's the thing, plant foldies. I will tell you a little tidbit about me. Being a proud Filipino American, if you don't know about Filipinos, we love our beauty pageant. So whether it is Miss Universe, Miss Grand International, I actually caused this scene actually when I was at PlantCon 2025 in Dallas. You need to check out my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, at Growfold, and you can see my reel where I was just throwing a hot mess fit about Miss Universe, or not Miss Universe, Miss Philippines winning Miss Grand International while I was at PlantCon. So congratulations to Emma Tiglao. That is a back-to-back win for the Philippines. But anyways, this is a really cool Aglaonema right here because I love the name. Like, I love the name. It is called Aglaonema Miss World. And you can see right here, this is such a cute Aglaonema and it's super full. I have to ask again, plant foldies, can you believe that these Aglaonema travel 10,000 miles from Indonesia all the way to Dallas, Texas for me to pick up at PlantCon, and now they're potted up in a soil substrate. They look super healthy. And again, this is a reason why I would encourage trying getting plants from overseas. I'm just really lucky that I was able to get, beautiful Aglaonema. And so this PlantCon haul is a little bit more of a unique PlantCon haul because who does an Aglaonema plant haul, right? Most people are doing other hauls and, there's no shade or anything like that. You love what you love. I love what you love. I love, and that's Aglaonema. Please join me as I try to hashtag popularize Aglaonema. Let me know what you think about Aglaonema Miss World. Look at the pink stems right here. And if you really look, and the lighting's not going to do, the back of it also has some unique veining on the leaves. So this one had a couple yellowing leaves, but for me, I feel like if I just give it some tender love and care, make sure not to overwater it, make sure that I'm giving it ample amount of bright indirect light like this grow light, then Aglaonema Miss World is definitely going to be Miss World in my plant collection. So let me know what you think, plant foldies. So plant foldies, this one right here is going to look similar to the last two Aglaonema. Take a look at this. Do y'all see what I'm showing you? Do y'all see what I'm showing you? This is called Aglaonema White Moon. It is absolutely stunning, and look at how massive this is. It's like pretty big, right, plant foldies? And so for me, Aglaonema White Moon, this one is a beautiful Aglaonema, and just look at the veining of this particular Aglaonema. There's a fly that just flew over it, but you can see right here, look at how beautiful this veining is on this Aglaonema. Really love this one as well, and I just love how it's got beautiful veining. I love the white stems on it, white stem Aglaonema. And this one is also just potted up in soil right now. I figured that it can just acclimate quickly, but as you can see right here, this is the Aglaonema White Moon. You can see, look at just how beautiful that is right here. The thing about Aglaonema, the one thing that I end up worrying a little bit about is sometimes the actual bottom rots off, and so if that happens, you can still keep the stump and you'll just have to repropagate the actual plant. That's really me being transparent. As beautiful as these Aglaonema are, and this plant haul that I'm showing you, hopefully you find it really pretty. Hopefully you will also learn the acclimation period. Again, especially with Aglaonema, you don't want to overwater them. So I just lightly water their soil. I probably will not water their soil for another week or two. I really want the soil to dry out completely. And as far as just the lighting, just making sure that you are giving them the best lighting. So bright indirect light for me. And then you can just see right here, this is the Aglaonema White Moon. This one is actually more of a pricey Aglaonema, but I mean, it is definitely worth it. It does get really large. I mean, this is a really large Aglaonema. And to me, like I said, again, it is all about getting plants that you love. I am just really happy that I can share my plant haul. I haven't done like a full-on face on, I mean, you can see my face right here, plant haul about these Aglaonema. So again, feel free to follow Art Garden Flowers on Instagram. They have artgardenflowers.us, which is their website, and be prepared to actually buy the book, The Jewel of Indonesia, which is basically the Aglaonema book that I kind of showed earlier. But if you have any questions about some of the plants that I'm featuring, definitely leave in the comment section, especially if you are interested in getting plants. Leave me a direct message on Instagram. Again, I am willing to help you out, but as you can see right here, look at how beautiful this is. Now this Aglaonema that I'm showing you looks very similar, but the name is quite interesting. This is called Aglaonema Green COVID. I don't know if this Aglaonema was like actually created during the pandemic, but as you can see right here, I mean, look at these leaves. It's so amazing. And look at how large it is. And then the white stems, y'all, the white stems. Let me know what you think about Aglaonema green COVID. What I will tell you about Aglaonema green COVID is it's definitely making me sick in a good way. I'm more addicted to Aglaonema. I mean, how do you not love Aglaonema, right? This is Aglaonema green COVID. So again, as far as the Aglaonemas that I'm featuring today for my plant haul, just know that you just have to be really careful with just overwatering them. They would do better actually just not being watered often and just bright indirect light. So if you are enjoying these types of plant hauls, I mean, you can see right here, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up right here. Look at that. Look at this, plant foldies. What do y'all think about my Aglaonema haul, my PlantCon 2025 Dallas plant haul? Again, I do want to thank everybody that has tuned in to watch my plant haul today. Hopefully you can see the unboxing, you can see my interactions and just my care tips for getting plants from overseas whenever you go to PlantCon, for instance, or any plant show. Know that these plants are hopefully going to do well in my plant care. I'm definitely going to give you guys a little bit of an update. So if you haven't considered joining my YouTube membership tier, definitely consider joining it so you can get more plant updates. I have just enjoyed giving you guys my plant haul. Again, definitely share the love. Definitely follow Art Garden Flowers. Live with Plants, my friend Sarut, who got me this amazing plant right over here, and actually Prop and Grow as well. You can get plants, so if you can't, if you're not considering getting plants from overseas, you can still go order plants from Prop and Grow. You can see right over here. You can still order this. They can ship it. This is that Aglaonema White Romance. I have had an amazing plant haul, share, show and tell, whatever you want to call it. And if you like this type of content, again, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. Consider joining my YouTube membership tier if you have any questions about the plants. And special thanks again to PlantCon International for choosing me as a creative collective content creator. More PlantCon content is going to show up. And if you haven't, you can also check out my playlist, which has all of my PlantCon footage ranging back from last year. My name is Richie at Growfold, and this is my plant haul 2025 for Dallas, Texas PlantCon. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Bye.